Hello, my name is Nico Schüler and I'm presenting a poster, a digital poster on how blue are blue notes, a methodological case study. Blue notes are notes that are lowered for expressive purposes in blues and blues-derived genres usually. Usually it's the third and seventh scale degrees, but sometimes also the fifth scale degree that is being lowered. And here you see a major scale that that has the regular third, fifth, and seventh scale degrees, but also the lowered seventh, fifth, and third scale degrees. So depending on the musical situation, performers may lower those notes in blues. That's what we know about blues, yet there have been very few studies that specifically investigate how much are blue notes actually lowered, to what degree, or um, so I wanted to do this case study with a blues that is a cappella, recorded by J.B. Smith in 1966 while being imprisoned. The notation you see here is my transcription that I did just based with my ear and not with the software that I will show later. Of course, the transcription is imperfect because there are a lot of pitch fluctuations as well as rhythmic shifts in here. Let's listen just to the beginning. This is just the first 8 measures. The entire blues is more than 9 minutes long. So for the purpose of this poster, we will just focus on those first 8 measures.
I got too much time put it. Oh man, for the crime I done. Well, if I had a noted, oh, I'd have broken run. Well, if a
And so on. So we can see here that the third scale degree, I want to specifically focus on the third scale degree, appears here 7 times in these opening measures, but 2 times in the context of an ascending melody. And in fact, it is, at least what my ear told me, a G sharp, but that means the raised third scale degree as it would appear in the major scale, whereby whenever the melody is descending, the third scale degree is lower to what my ear told me is the third as found, the lower third as found in a minor scale. But I wanted to specifically measure exactly how much lowered it is. And for that, I use the software Sonic Visualizer. Sonic Visualizer is a freeware. Notice the British spelling. And you can find it at sonicvisualizer.com. It's freely accessible. And in Sonic Visualizer, one can load a piece of music. And then we can also zoom in and out. And we can also do a playback. We can also do a slower playback. So we can slow down the playback, which would help us listening to a piece.
I got too much time put it.
But the main thing I want to show is we can use what is called a peak frequency spectrogram. And I can mix both of the stereo channels together. And now I see a peak frequency spectrogram. That means the pitches that are being sung, but these layers are at different overtones in the overtone series. So I need to look at the fundamental note, and I need to make sure that I listen to it or I look at it in the right octave, but it's usually the lowest line that is being found here. So if we just listen for a little bit.
I got too much time for this.
And so what one can do is then one can hold the mouse over it, over the where the fundamental node is playing, and we can see here that in the upper right corner of this window, it shows the exact frequency and pitch. Uh, so of course there is some vibrato. So this was the E, and this goes up to the um, fifths, and we can even zoom in a little bit more. And we can see here, if you look to the upper right of this black window, it's a G sharp 3, and that is the third as it appears in the ascending motion at the very beginning. It goes up to the fifth and then comes uh, back down. Here's B. And here is our lowered third scale degree, which is often between F sharp and G. So I just wanted to demonstrate that this program basically reads the exact frequency um, of what is being sounded, what is sounding at a particular time. So back to my PowerPoint presentation. Here I included the frequencies as found. So what, generally speaking, very generally speaking, what I found is when the melody is ascending here and here in the red circles, we indeed find the G sharp as or close to how it would be sounding in a major scale, whereby the third scale degree in the context of a descending melody, it is not only lowered by a half step, but it's even lowered more. It is usually, the pitch is usually between F sharp and G natural in this E major or E blues. That means
I got
that notes are lowered and embellished for expressive purposes, generally speaking. The third is lowered if the melody, the third is not lowered if the melody is ascending. The third is dramatically lowered when the melody is descending. The third as a blue note is lower than the lowered third scale degree as found in a minor key. The fifth scale degree is only slightly lowered, in case you wondered. So how can we use this analytical method? Of course, we need to do a larger scale study. This was just a methodological study to see how we can actually accurately measure the frequencies of blue notes. And it works very nicely using the peak frequency spectrogram in Sonic Visualizer. But it is very time consuming, so it cannot be done automatically with a large number of pieces. It has to be done manually, one piece at a time, which is very time consuming. But the interesting finding is that the blue note is even lower than the third scale degree in a minor scale. I would welcome questions, comments, and suggestions. You have my email address here. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a wonderful rest of the conference. Thank you.